What's up, guys? What's going on? It's Megadan29 again, back for another one. And today, I was watching a really cool video from Pixel Game Squad. If you haven't checked out Pixel Game Squad, definitely check them out. Very, very good. They do this thing now. It's the Squadcast, and they've been doing that for a while now, and it's a really good listen. They always talk about it's all gaming related stuff, and it's really good stuff. I definitely highly recommend going and check out Pixel Game Squad and listening to their Squadcast. I like to listen to them when I'm driving in my car or I'm cleaning the house. That's when I put it on, and it's perfect for that, man. It's great to listen to if you're into gaming and you like talking about gaming like I do. So definitely go check them out. If you haven't heard of them already, I'd be really surprised. But anyways, they were making this video, and they were talking about DLC. They talked about game reviews also, but I'm gonna talk about the DLC thing and basically just your thoughts on DLC. And I think I'm with Gabbo on this. I'm kind of he said something about being 50-50, and I think I am too. So a time when I thought DLC was awesome, I'll give you an example, is when I used to play a lot of Call of Duty with my friends. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3. I played the heck out of those, and Black Ops. Black Ops 1. Those are the four I played a lot. And let me tell you, we put tons of time in online. Just tons and tons. Hours and hours and hours and hours. So we would play all the time. And one thing that was really nice about the DLC is they would come out with stuff later when the hype of the game is already gone, and you kind of want more stuff coming, right? So they would come out with new maps and new guns and new kill streaks and stuff like that. And it was usually like, $10 or something like that. It wasn't too bad. And I actually, that was a DLC I really liked because it kind of spiced it up, It made it go, oh, cool. We're playing this and it's not the same old maps. We got these two other ones that'll fall in there once in a while. And let's try these new guns, and what's that new kill streak do? So it was really cool. I liked it for that sake. But let me tell you a time when I don't like DLC. The one that comes to mind immediately is Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild had some DLC, one where you're riding like a motorcycle, another one where you had a new dungeon and stuff. And let me tell you, man, this is the problem with that. It's not the problem that there is DLC and it's all the new stuff. It has nothing to do with the stuff. It's everything to do of when it comes out. When it comes out, Odyssey was guilty of this too, even though the DLC was kind of with the whole Luigi thing. But the whole thing I want to highlight here is the time thing. So you're already putting like 200 hours into Breath of the Wild to get a good chunk of it and beat the heck out of it, if not more, right? Well, after that, dude, you kind of move on. You move on and you play other games. And then once you move on, man, and you try to go back to games like that, you really forget the controls. You forget what you were doing. You forget all the mechanics of it. You were so good at that 200-hour mark at controlling your character and doing all this cool stuff. You were just a master at it, right? And then you go and you try to get back into it, and it's just really tough. And that's at least how it is for me. The DLC takes so long to come around. Like, man, I want to say it was like a year since I'd played the game. Maybe not that long. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Let's go 6-7 months since I've played the game. And then some DLC comes out. Like, you just don't want to go back to it. At least that's how I feel. That's my opinion. I don't want to go back to it, man. I'm sure it's cool. I'm sure it's fun. But man, I'm done with that game. I already put 200 hours into it. Odyssey did the same thing with Luigi, even though I don't want to play that. It was some stupid, hide and seek thing, in my opinion. I just wasn't really into it. But I was hoping they were adding more kingdoms. But man, once again, I already put 130, 140 hours into that game. I'm done. I 100%ed it. I've done everything. Dude, I don't want to go back to that game. I'm already moving on to something else, man. It's timing of it. And then you ask yourself, well, you don't want to come out with it immediately, because then it's like, why not put it in the game? Well, that's what a developer, in my opinion, has to ask himself. Is it worth making it DLC and just trying to make everybody pay more money? Or should you just come out with it in the game? And maybe even if you have to push the game back a little bit, who cares? Hell, we're getting another dungeon or something. That's awesome, right? So, Yeah, I'm kind of 50-50 on DLC, and I guess that's just kind of my opinion on it. It just really depends. I'm going to go ahead and say, though, most times I don't like it. Now, they did touch on what they were talking about with like suits and, making your character look different and stuff. I think all that stuff should be in the game, period. Period. I know Aaron was talking about, he plays Rocket League, and you can make your car look different and stuff. That should all be in the game, man. That should all be in the game. You should be able to unlock it by doing challenges or something. Because let me tell you, man, I was just playing Dave Mira Pro BMX, and we did a playthrough of that on the channel, if you wanted to go check that out. And basically what you can do is every time you go through the whole Pro quest, which is basically the story mode, with a person, you unlock something at the end of it. So you go through it and you unlock stuff with him. You're unlocking better bikes and different attire and all this different stuff with your character. But then if you go through with the other characters, you can unlock all this stuff. So I think I unlocked like big head mode when I beat it with Garcia. But if you go beat it with Dave Mira, you unlock something else. And so it gives you incentive to keep playing the game. So really that's how I think things should be, is the old, play it and unlock everything and do challenges to unlock stuff and things like that. Because you can have situations like right now. Okay, I love Cuphead. I love Cuphead to death. Cuphead's so awesome. It's in my top 10 games of all time. Just did a playthrough of it on the channel. It was my second time beating the game. Really fun. Do you know they are working on DLC still for that game? That game came out, I think I looked back at it, in 2017. It is 2020 right now, and we are still waiting on DLC. I know it takes a while. But at that point, don't even do DLC. Just have Cuphead 2 come out. You know what I'm saying? That's DLC. How much later? Now, yeah, that's an easy game to hop back in. But us as gamers, we move on. We move on and we're playing the other 500 games that are available. Or if you're a stinking retro gamer like me, you've got a backlog for days. 4 days. I could not buy a game for the next year and I'd still be fine. I'd still have stuff to play. Like, seriously, that's just the way it is. So I'm sure other people know where I'm coming from on that. But let me know your thoughts on DLC. I think I'm more against it than I am for it. Only in the multiplayer aspect do I think it kind of works out. Because it's nice to not, like, let the game get stale by coming out with more maps and guns and whatever you're playing. Say you're playing sports or something and they come out with some new mode on Madden or something like that that makes you want to play more than just whatever you're doing. Because it gets boring. Every game gets boring after a while. But when it comes to story-driven games, where we're already really engulfed in the game and we're already dedicated to it and we're putting hundreds of hours into it or whatever, just put it in the game so that we can unlock the stuff. Or if you can't get it out in time and you are going to release it within a month of when it just came out. Release the next dungeon, like, the secret dungeon or something in Breath of the Wild 2. Don't wait that long. Don't wait 6-7 months to come out, because we're not going to go back to it. I mean, the hardcore people will, but people like me will not. I won't go back to it, man, so I still have never played that. And so it kind of stinks. The perfect DLC also for story modes was? This was a really good DLC. Was for Grand Theft Auto 4, you had the Lost and Damned and then Ballad of Gay Tony. Because the reason you're going to say the same thing, well, that came out way later, Daniel, and you were already moved on past Grand Theft Auto 4, weren't you? Yes, but it's a completely new game. It's like buying a new Grand Theft Auto and playing this new chapter of it. You know what I'm saying? You're a new character, new story. You pick up the controls, they go through the tutorial again and everything. You're fine. You know what I'm saying? It's like a brand new game. That was the perfect way to do it. They did the same thing with Red Dead Redemption with the Undead Nightmare. I don't remember that taking very long for it to come out. But when it did, it walked you back through how to play, and it was like this kind of new game. You were the same character in Undead Nightmare, but if anybody's played that, it's a new game. It's definitely not the same at all. So Rockstar seems to kind of know what they're doing with that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, that Breath of the Wild 2 one, I still haven't played it, still haven't went back to it. Taking too long. But let me know your guys' thoughts on DLC and what you guys think of it. And as always, I appreciate the support. I love talking to you guys. Have an awesome, awesome day.